Hey everybody, I'm Christopher Green. You're watching AMTV, Alternative Media Television. It is, of course, Wednesday, September 21st, 2016. We've got a great show planned. I want to welcome everybody watching us live on Facebook. If you haven't already, go over to Facebook, like us on Facebook. It helps us out a lot. Also, follow me on Snapchat. You know, some of you probably asked, put out a video, kind of a teaser on this, saying follow me on Snapchat, AMTV Media. Christopher, why would I want to follow you on Snapchat? Isn't that like a tween social media app? Well, it's actually a really, really cool tool. And we need to use all kinds of social media technology and any kind of platform that we can, as long as we can, as they continue to allow us to broadcast. And it's actually pretty edgy. First of all, the user growth is tremendous compared to Twitter. Like, Twitter's a turd. Twitter still doesn't make money. So Snapchat has already exceeded, I believe, the user base. At the very least, from what I understand, the growth rate is tremendous compared to failed Twitter, tweet Twitter. It's a great tool. You get a lot of interpersonal thoughts that don't need to be put out there in this multi-minute video feed like the normal production that we do and the normal video content. But you kind of just get my intimate interpersonal thoughts on a day-to-day basis on Snapchat. So friend me on Snapchat at AMTV Media. You can follow me along and our crew as we travel the country and travel the globe, just like when we were at Freedom Fest, when we're conducting interviews with Steve Forbes and Rand Paul, which they aired on the O'Reilly Factor, Faux News, Dinesh D'Souza, the filmmaker who put out a great groundbreaking piece on Hillary Clinton. You get all the behind-the-scenes access to me, our crew, and kind of see as we grow this, as you support the alternative media for the price of a cup of coffee on demand at $4.95 a month and $49.95 a year, you support independently, alternative media television. And you can also join my book club. In fact, I'll be doing some pieces on this on demand. I'm thinking about starting a book club. I think it's just a good idea. I talk all the time about how I read tremendously because the news wires and even the conservative media, this quote alt media, is very circular in nature. Don't think for a minute that that isn't engineered. The topics that we're discussing, engineered by the most powerful entity on the planet, the mainstream media. So it's important to digress from social media and actually pick up a book. I mentioned, people have the attention span of like an ant. This book has surprised me, Heretic. I came into it very skeptical. I just started it last night, so I just kind of went through the first chapter. I was up late last night, I think about 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning. Why Islam Needs a Reformation Now. So follow along with me, and I'll be, picking out quotes, and I'll be doing some commentary on it on demand. Join our book club as we read book after book, and also on Snapchat, where you can get, all those interpersonal thoughts and even mistakes, bloopers. I might even fart on camera or something like that, and you guys don't want to miss that. I mean, I could fart live on Snapchat, and you'd be like, dude, I missed that. I could have seen Christopher Green freaking shit himself. So thank you tremendously for your support. I'm truly humbled by it. We're putting out a ton of content. In fact, we've been averaging anywhere from 3 to 5 to 7 to more videos per day. And we're taking this all to the next level with your support and, God willing, with your support on demand. Thank you so much. And the man above, is truly guiding us. And we're so humbled by that. And everyone here, our crew, our team, and you, which are helping us fight this war. I want to talk today about the presidential debate, sneak preview, and kind of what to expect. Also, I'd like to hear your thoughts. Put it in the comment box below. How would you like me to cover this event? There's a couple of different ways we can cover this. We can live stream it, where I'm sitting here in studio. This is Monday, Hofstra University, September 26, 9 p.m. Eastern Time, goes about for an hour and a half. That would be 6 o'clock Arizona time, Pacific Standard Time. We've got our own time zone here. We're very special here in Arizona. We're like the special bus, we wear our helmets. How would you like me to cover this? I would actually like to hear the feedback from you. We can cover it live, and I can watch and then pause the debates and give you actual real commentary as it's happening live. What's going through my head, just off-the-cuff commentary, which, is kind of what we do best here, to be honest with you. Or I can recap it after, the live presentation is completed and just put it and package it into a video. Maybe do like a 5 to 10 minute clip. I would actually be curious to see what you guys would like to see. Again, it's my goal, our team, our crew, and our goal to provide better, more comprehensive, and more valuable content to you, So I want to hear your feedback. Let us know what you'd like to see, and we'll be putting that content up on demand, completely commercial, ad-free. And of course, most of our content, a lot of our content is all distributed free. What isn't banned, what isn't blocked, what isn't censored, what isn't demonetized on YouTube and Facebook and all these other social media platforms that we are using to fight the, as Alex Jones would say, InfoWar against the globalist elite. Isn't it funny how people like Alex Jones, we've got to give Alex Jones some street cred, guys, right? You know, people called this guy crackpot conspiracy theory. All he's been talking about for like the last 20 years has been the globalist, the evil globalist, the new world order globalist, globalism, globalization, George Soros, globalist, the globalists are, I mean, that's all he's been talking about literally for like 20 years. And people are like, he's a lunatic, he's crazy. And now that's all we have in the mainstream media. Like the UN speech yesterday, Obama was talking about globalism, globalization. George Soros funding the super PACs of Hillary Clinton, globalization. Funding the mass migration, globalization. The pouring over radical jihadists into the United States of America. Heretic, the book here, globalization. So literally this guy who's been like freaking out on camera, like with a giant sign, like globalism, globalism, forever, has actually been vindicated. I mean, we've got to give the guy credit where credit is due. You know, people, the mainstream media and the political establishment has miscalculated this movement so badly. They've literally just kind of come into the palm of our hands, you know, by trying to demonize the movement, demonize half of America that's voting for Donald Trump, by the way, calling them deplorables. They are totally misunderstanding this movement, this anger, this vitriol, what's happening in America today. They're misunderstanding the alternative media. They're misunderstanding half of America. It's pretty amazing to see. I mean, every time they demonetize a video, block a video, shit can a video, do whatever they want, flush it down the toilet, they don't even realize they're helping us. They're banning our shit and doing the equivalent of lighting our digital books on fire. And people are like, what the F? All right, screw you guys. We're going to support independently, alternatively, the real media. Alternative media television. So they're honest to God doing us a favor. Burn it all, YouTube. Burn it all, Google, Facebook, MSNBC, faux news, burn it all. You're only showing yourself as the enemy. You're only showing yourself as the enemy of this constitutional republic and something that all Americans should value tremendously, the First Amendment, the freedom of speech, the ability for people like me to come on camera and say whatever the F I want. They're only helping the movement, and we're winning. And it's why I think Donald Trump has a very serious chance of winning. We've seen this transition, and although nothing happens by accident in politics, nothing happens by accident, and there are some convoluted layers here that we've been digressing into, and I've been sounding the alarm bell, and I've been telling you guys to be vigilant. We are winning, and it's pretty freaking incredible, while Hillary takes a dirt nap. So we have the presidential debate coming up. And again, I kind of want to give things to look for. I talked a little bit about this yesterday. Pay close attention to the questions asked, not necessarily the answers given, because the questions, folks, actually dictate the narrative being pushed by the establishment media, the MSNBCers of the world. So pay close attention to that. We're expected to break record numbers, by the way. The expectations that it could be larger, not just in life, but then the Super Bowl. Some of the preliminary numbers are saying that we could have 100 million Americans tune in, even while they're playing at the same time the modern form of gladiator games just to distract the people, Monday Night Football. Even then, they're saying, and Monday Night Football I think gets anywhere from 10 to 13 million viewers, that's the ratings. They're still suggesting that it could have such an impact on Monday night that the presidential debates will woo one of the most controversial, vitriolic debates that we have ever seen at presidential elections in American history. Over 100 freaking million people. In fact, I think even when Illuminist Katy Perry, last time she performed at the Super Bowl, she got over 100 million. So we're talking a lot of freaking people are showing up for this, and a lot of people are going to be tuning in. I just want to know what's going to happen. I mean, this stuff is crazy, folks. It's freaking insane. I talked about it in our exclusive video yesterday on demand. I mean, what's going to happen next? I mean, with Hillary's eye going all over the place, just, over and feigning and, buckling over. Like, I seriously have no idea what's going to happen. She might Well, collapse would be too convenient. I mean, she could just die on camera like the Wicked Witch of the West, like we talked about. I'm melting. You know, they're going to ask her a question like, Hillary, tell us about your email scandal. I'm melting. Tell us about Christopher Stevens dead and several other Americans. I'm melting. You know, tell us about all of these controversies, all of these illegal acts. Who do you think President Barack Obama will pardon, by the way? Who do you think's more likely? Let me give you a couple options. Julian Assange, Edward Snowden, Chelsea Manning, or Hillary Clinton? Who do you think? Who do you think he's likely to pardon at the end of his term here? I'm deadpanning because we all know the answer. Well, Hillary Clinton gets pardoned. She's above the law. So this debate is expected to freaking shatter the record books, exceeding potentially 100 million people, according to experts interviewed by The Hill. A debate with an audience that size would be something never seen before in U.S. politics. I think there was in the last debate, 60 million or something like that in 2012. Just to give you an idea. In fact, it goes on to say that the 1983 finale of MASH, a TV show actually my grandparents liked, they died really early. Unfortunately, I didn't really get to know them as, a man, is the only television show that has hit the 100 million mark. Last year's Super Bowl, in which the Denver Broncos beat the Carolina Panthers, attracted 111.9 viewers. And pop star Katy Perry, which I mentioned, performed at the 2015 Super Bowl, had 118 million viewers. You know, she's dancing around, showing her tits, and the Illuminati eyes. It's like, oh yeah, look at me. The snakes all around her. I can't even remember what she did, but she's, it's the all-seeing eye, and that gets all the attention. The TV, the propaganda machine, even though now these cameras and cell phones that we have that grow surveillance states even worse because we're just being commercialized on a daily basis, and it is the game plan to brainwash the freaking sheeple. There'll be a lot of debate coverage. Again, I would like to hear how you would like me to cover it. ABC, CBS, the Clinton News Network, Faux News, MSNBC will be covering it. The Hill will be streaming it. ABC News, Face Crook, YouTube, etc. will all be streaming this. So it should be very interesting. Again, be on your freaking tippy toes. In fact, there's a segment I'll be getting to later in the show where I'm going to go into detail on the warning signs of what I think Hillary Clinton is going to pull, maybe even at the debates, but within the next couple of weeks as we get, we lead into the actual election in November. Lester Holt, again, is the moderator, who we know is probably going to be criticized profusely by the mainstream media for, not asking the right question, or not asking the right follow-up question, or not being hard enough on Donald Trump, or not doing this or not doing that. Like I've said for years now, we should actually have a debate that we cover. The alternative media should have an opportunity to cover. We'd love to do it. I'll do it. I mean, if you guys support, I'm not even kidding you guys. You support us, we get enough support, the sky's the limit. We'll do anything. I mean, however big you want this to grow, this movement, we'll get so big and powerful that we will shit on the faces of the Clinton News Network, Faux News, MSNBC, right? I mean, it's really dependent on you. I talk about it all the time. Vote with your wallets. Stop putting money into the pockets of, corporatist, globalist companies that cause cancer like McDonald's, for example. Or, endorsing companies like Starbucks, which I could call another name, and paying for, overpriced coffee when, you could be, that also supports, Hillary Clinton, and they're formally supporting her and the Black Lives Matter movement and radicalized, liberalized policy in this country, which is only bringing terrorists in to kill, murder, and maim our children. Vote with your wallet. Support the real independent alternative. So we will be watching these debates with a very keen eye. Of course, I will be reporting on it. And also, too, I wanted to kind of give you guys just the schedule. So let's outlay this. Not really easy to find online. So we've got, obviously, Monday, September 26, 2016, Hofstra University, New York. That'll probably have the largest viewership, in my opinion. Will it hit 100 million? I don't know. I'm kind of thinking we get close there. It potentially could shatter the record. I would say maybe somewhere, in the middle, maybe under, I'm guessing, but, maybe under just 100 million, something like that, or who knows, maybe it surprises and it's even bigger than the Super Bowl, but I kind of doubt it. I mean, the people, they are pretty brainwashed, right? I mean, they'd probably rather watch, football, modern gladiator games. See, I think that Kaepernick and these guys that are kneeling in protest, and now this is, all the teams are doing it. I think instead of kneeling, they should just bow out of football completely. I mean, don't you realize, Kaepernick, you're just a modern day gladiator? Like back in the old days, they'd throw you to the lions after you were done on the field. They just so happen to pay you millions of dollars now. You're really just a clown. That's what you are. Like, dance for me, on the field. Dance for me, Kaepernick. Dance for me. And the people cheer with their beers and, their hot dogs, and they just scarf them down their throat. So, God, if you really want to protest, man, just bow out. Bow out of the NFL. Honestly, it's a circus. You're a part of a freaking circus, so just bow out. That is honest to God, that's my opinion. You want to protest anything, just protest the sport completely. Just get out, and we'll congratulate you on your way out and withdraw your contract and, give all your, contractual obligations, back to the public. I donate all of it, donate all of it to the Black Lives, Matter movement, whatever you want to do, but just bow out of the game completely. Don't stop with $1 million, which you just followed through with. Give it all away. Give it all away. Put your money where your mouth is if you really believe in the cause. In addition to that, following up October 4th, we've got the vice presidential debate, which will probably be a snooze fest, although we'll be tuning into that, probably lower viewership, maybe under 50 million. October 9th, we have a presidential debate at Washington University in St. Louis, Missouri. And then on October 19th, we have a presidential debate at the University of Las Vegas, Nevada. We might even try to get there, see if we can't get some behind the scenes, special access, since that's pretty local to Arizona. We try to attend any events that we've got, local access to, that we can, especially if we can drive to it. I'm sure the security obviously will be very, very tight. So those are all over 90 minutes and run from 9 p.m. to 10:30 p.m. There was an article that I pulled from the Hollywood Reporter that said, don't get loud. Matt Lauer. Remember how they criticized him, talking about how they're going to probably do the same thing with Lester Holt in this Clinton-Trump boxing match showdown, which has put news chiefs on unsure footing as the media, not just the candidates, become the story. Says retired PBS anchor Jim Lehrer, who has moderated 12 debates. He says there's no way to do it without being criticized. And you probably, seen the memes, right? And we know Hillary, she's tough, man. Did you see her on September 11th collapse? She's tough, man. She's so healthy, dude. She can run marathons. I talked about this yesterday. Like, she's so healthy, right? It was a conspiracy. Yeah, she's got pneumonia, sinusitis, blood clots, bleeding from all places out of the brain. She can barely walk, but she's going to war. Yeah, with Donald Trump. This is what the establishment wants and the Bushes want, because they're going to vote for her, only proving that it's a one-party system and that the third party they completely trashed. They don't even have a good candidate. I mean, Gary Johnson, I like the guy, very nice guy, met him a couple times. Cool dude, want to have a beer with him. But Gary, come on, man, you don't know what Aleppo is? Come on, dude. Seriously? Are you having an acid flashback? Like, dude, how many drugs have you done? Nothing against that, man, but like, we need someone more capable than a guy that's like, Aleppo? What's that? Guy's like, are you kidding me? He's like, no. I mean, and people are like, I've literally had debates. People are like, oh, you're wrong, Christopher. The Libertarian Party is going to kick some ass. I'm like, no, it won't. There's not good representation for a reason. Even the head of the Libertarian Party that we spoke with, a really nice guy at Freedom Fest, I'm like, so, this is like your full-time gig? And he's like, no, I just do this like a couple hours a week. I run like a car dealership or something most of the time. So like, the Libertarian Party doesn't even have full-time employment. They just give you the guys at these town halls, like, oh yeah, there's a third party option. Oh, and there's like Jill Stein there, the Green Party. Yeah, they're so influential. No, they're not. It's utterly staged. There's a one-party system. The Bushes are freaking voting for Clintons, for God's sakes. It's why we need Donald Trump. At a time when, according to Nate Silver, Trump surges from 3% to a 48% chance of winning. The latest vote projection from elections guru Nate Silver has Republican Donald Trump just 6 electoral votes. 6 electoral votes. 6. Ooh, 6. Trump 6 electoral votes short of winning and 1 point away from equaling Hillary Clinton's popular vote. What's more, he has the popular vote within the margin of victory. Clinton 45.4% to Trump's 44.3%. Silver is famous for making a prediction of victory, and that's nearly close to Clinton at 51.9% and Trump at 48%, his closest since the conventions. There's actually a chart, too, we'll probably go to in the next segment. It was a chart put out by WikiLeaks showing how close the race is, different points of time, like when Hillary collapsed, all of a sudden, she's losing support and it's converging. I talked about this. There's a conspiracy side to this. There's no accidents in politics. Things happen for a reason. And now it's converged. And, you look at it from like a chartist perspective. They call this technical analysis in the financial world, or from like a statistician's perspective. You look at that and you have to ask, and I can't remember if WikiLeaks was asking it or not, do we now see a reversion from the, to the mean? It's mathematics. There's a reversion to the mean. Just like the economy stimulated artificially like a hooker at 0% interest rates, courtesy of Janet Yellen, will end in collapse. Just like it did in 2008 and 2009, courtesy of Alan Greenspan. It might take a while. They can keep it going on for a while, but there's always a reversion to the mean, and the mean's right here. Trump surging in the polls. Question being, what will Hillary Clinton, the Führer, what will she pull? What do her political operatives have up her smelly sleeve? They've got something, and we're going to get all to it and more in today's live show, Wednesday, September 21st, 2016. Hard hitting it in your face. I'm Christopher Green. Thank you for your support. Again, if you haven't already, start your free trial today. 14-day free trial. Hell, if you don't like it, you don't have to stick around, but you will. You're going to freaking love it. We're blowing up. Thank you for your support. We'll be right back.